Welcome back, Bob the Vape Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at a new device from Augvape. This is the Merlin Nano mouth-to-lung tank. Alright, so the up close that we're about to look at is when I first got the thing. Didn't know anything about it. Just, we're going to learn it together on the unpacking it and wicking it and building it and all that stuff. And then I'll come back and we'll tell you what it's like vaping on this thing. Alright, so this is the Merlin Nano, which from Augvape, which is a mouth-to-lung vape. We're going to do something a little different. I have not used this as of the up-close recording. I opened the box, a quick look at it, put it back. What I'm going to do, this is recorded, and I got lint in my finger. This is going to be recorded, and there it is again. This is going to be recorded before I've actually used this. So I'm going to open this up with you. And it looked like there was a whole lot of stuff in there, so we're going to explore this together. So, a little different than actually doing a review of the up-close portion of it. We're just going to explore it together, and when we go back up on top, that's when it'll be after I've used it for a while and can give you my opinion on vaping on it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, you got some specs here on the back. Alright, Merlin Nano mouth-to-lung, 22mm beauty ring, 24mm bubble. What else? You got a bag, accessory, screwdriver. Let's take a look at it. So I may not get everything exactly right in the first look because it did look like it had a lot of extra pieces in it. So we have a manual, which we may have to refer to. We have a tool, and see, like I saw these extra pieces in here, which, you know, obviously are going to be like extra for the deck, I would think. A lot of little O-rings and stuff in there, and a couple or one. Looks like one, no, two really small micro coils in there. So let's move that aside. Let's take a look at the what's it called again? Merlin Nano. Let's take a look at that together, and we're just gonna figure it out. All right. So we do have that frosted bubble glass to go along with the straight clear glass they have, and you do have a beauty ring. I usually don't use these beauty rings. If you don't know what that is, that's in case you want to put this on a wider, you know, a larger device mod. You can put this in here and it just makes the base look better, okay? I usually don't use them because they're for looks and I'm more about function than how it looks. So, it does look like we have 510 on top. Here's something moving around. Something moving around in there. That's probably like one of those base things. Let's go ahead and take off the base and take a look at it. This is as far as I got. I looked at this, and then I figured, all right, let's let's just start shooting a video. So we got the top there, and this just pops right off. And yeah, see, that's similar to the other one there. That's going to be your airflow. So you got this cap that goes over it, and your coil is going to go in there. And these are probably going to be different amounts of air. Let's go ahead and take a couple of these out and take a look. There's three different ones here. Yeah, you can see there, one hole, two holes, and that hole looks smaller than this one. So that probably gives you the most air, medium amount, and the least amount of air. Let's get that a little closer there. Come on. There you go. So it looks like three different sizes for the airflow. The two on the left look very, can't get it to stay, very close, but the one in the middle looks slightly larger, and this has two, so this is probably going to be most. So it's probably small, medium, and large in terms of the amount of airflow on there. You get a couple of micro coils in there, and let's see with this deck. I don't know how this attaches. Does this go this way? There's a little O-ring in there. All right, we're going to focus. Little O-ring in there, so this is probably going to push in. It's probably going to push in like that. I'm not sure how it stays down, because that's certainly loose there. And again, like I said, we're learning this together, but that O-ring does give it a little bit of staying in there. Yeah, so obviously you can put your coil across that and wrap it around, but how is this going to stay down? Let's take a look at the manual. Alright, so that just tells you how it gets put together. Let's see if it shows you here. I can't even see that. Maybe I can zoom in on here and see it. So it does show it going that way. All right, place your preferred airflow into the slot. So they're just telling you it may stay down. Let's see if the top cap pushes it down. No, that's not going to keep it down. So if you put that on afterwards, I see that is potentially coming loose. See, if I put it down tight, it does come loose there. So, not sure how they expect that to stay. And if you're going to put your coil, the coil is going to go there and get wrapped around that. There's nothing to stop that from coming up. Though it does have these little grooves, almost like we put it across there. That doesn't make sense. So it would have to go like that. But this, obviously, is not in there tight. And I don't think this is not going to make it stay down. Alright, so my first impression of this is, what the heck is going to make that stay down? Let's try a different one. Just in case that one is just something wrong with the O-rings on there. Apologize for going off screen here. And this is the thing with these kind of mouth-to-lung vapes. They're very small and hard to handle, which kind of annoys me. See that one? No, see? That's still too loose. And by the time you put your coil in there, you don't want your coil touching that. Yeah, so I don't see, you know, at first look here how that's going to stay down. So I'm going to actually pause this for a second, figure this out, and come right back. So I'm back, and my little bit of research is telling me this has got to stay like that. That's, yeah, my first observation is correct, that it is not the best idea. Really don't like that too much. When your coil is across, you know, your coil is going to sit in there, and your cotton's going to come out the side, and your cotton's going to be going up to these holes here for the juice holes. This thing really is, it's just like that. So, I don't know, not too happy about that. Let's get a mod and start building this thing anyway. Alright, so I'm just pulling out something old here. This is an old Sigelli J150, built-in battery, on-off switch, 150 watt mod. I'm going to use this. Let's throw that on there. Let's put the beauty ring on. Let's put the beauty ring on. Make those people happy. So that's what the beauty ring does. Just makes it fit better and look nice, and fits perfect on this device. All right. Let's go ahead and throw a coil in now. I'll tell you something. I don't like building mouth-to-lung devices anymore because of the small coils, small screws, and all that stuff. I don't enjoy it. I honestly don't. It just gets to be more work than I feel it's worth, and I don't enjoy dealing with it. So open that up. We'll zoom in a little bit more for you. Let's grab one of these coils. And my camera in the way, it's a little hard, so I might have to slide off for a second. Alright, so I got that in there. Didn't cut my leads yet. Just want to show you, just twisted the wire around halfway, turn around the coils, screwed it in, it's in tight. Let's get a pair of clippers. Clip those leads off. You know, and as I get older, my eyesight is getting worse, even with my glasses. And dealing with these kind of small coils and stuff, I don't really enjoy it at all. Although sometimes it is easier on camera. So that's not touching the base. Alright. It's not touching the base, but again, look at that. So, there you go. Alright, that is what it is. I don't see any other way of doing that. If I'm doing something wrong, we'll figure that out later on. Let's go ahead and turn this on. All right. So this is reading 1 ohm, 1.1, 1.01. So 48 watts, we don't want that. Let's go down to the lowest, which I believe is 10 watts on this device. Give it a quick little dry burn. Burning good. Alright, we'll leave it like that, let it cool down for a moment, throw some cotton in now. Alright, so let's see what the right amount of cotton is for this small coil. Used to building bigger coils these days. So that's a little too loose in there. Yeah, a little more cotton. All right. And I'm cutting that over because not sure what we're going to do in here. Let's just slight little comb out. So we're going to be tucking this along the side there. Let's cut one side. This way you always cut the other side last, because then you can push it apart, you know, pull or push it if you need more or less. I'm not sure if this is the right wicking for this device, but this is where we're going to do it now. And we'll decide later on. Going to use some of this Higgy Sigs Fluffer Mint. This is 10 milligram, 60/40. Great for pods, right? There we go. Let's go ahead and throw this cap on there, and that cotton will get a little more saturated once I put everything together and fill it with juice. Okay, so that's on. Let's see now at the top of this. I assume this is an unscrew to fill. That takes out your 510, but how do you fill this? I guess you're going to fill it here and then put it together. So you're going to fill it through the bottom. Now I zoom back out again. We fill it through the bottom. All right, you fill one side, fills up. So let's put some juice in there. And then we're going to turn this upside down and fill it. That's the way it looks anyway. And there she goes. All right, so I'm going to vape on this thing. I'm going to use this for a couple of days, and then we're going to go back up and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so.
I'm not sure about that.
Alexa. Oh, boy. All right, so first thing, the device I had it on, that J150 from Sigelli, lowest that went was 10 watts, and that was too much actually for this. 7-8 watts is actually better for this build. It's a 1 ohm build that's in there. So I put it on the device, and this is the Boar Chaser, which kind of looks really nice on here with the beauty ring. After I said I don't like beauty rings, it just makes it look like it's part of it. I really think it looks nice on there. This is like the perfect device for this, in my opinion, just because you could put a 21700 in here, or 2700, or an 18650, and at 8 watts, this will last forever. And so first thing is, let's talk about that little air plug, the piece that goes in one of these things here, okay, which you put in there for the 3 different amounts of air that you can get, because there's no adjustable air. You do it by placing one of these plugs in there. They're wobbly, they're wiggly, they're in there, and it worries me. It worries me that, you know, if you bang this thing too hard, if you drop it, if you move around a little bit, that's going to pop out, and then you're going to have a problem, or it's going to get loose. That has not happened to me, okay? I have not had a single problem with it, but I don't like that it's wiggly like that. I really think all they needed to do was make that bottom little part there. If they had made that longer and put a double O-ring on there, I think that would have fit in nice and tight without any worries. But since it's not screwing in or anything like that, it's just pushing in, it's a potential problem, but I haven't had that problem. Now, that aside, the vape on here is excellent. I'm not a mouth-to-lung vapor except in pods, but I know a lot of people who love these types of tanks, who rather use their own juice, who rather use a nice small mouth-to-lung tank, and love these things, and that's all they use. And I don't use them a lot, but I really like this one. The airflow, and I haven't changed it to the other airflow plugs. I've only been using the one that I put in there. The airflow is perfect. It is extremely smooth. The flavor is nice. The vape I've been getting off of here is excellent. So I'm going to shut up and take a vape. Now, since when using pods, you're usually using Nic Salt, and most Nic Salts, the commercial ones, the ones you get today, really don't have any throat hit. They're just for the Nic rush. There are some Nic Salts that do have throat hit. 99.9% of the ones you try from pre-filled pods or buying Nic Salt juice do not have a throat hit. You know, when you're using a standard juice like this, and you can see this is a 10 milligram, and you can see it's gotten pretty dark, and I wouldn't use more than that. This is the 10. I also have this in 8, and I kept meaning to fill it with 8 instead of the 10, but I've just been using this over and over again. So it's a little, you know, it's going back to the days of throat hits, which I haven't used in a long time because I vape 1 milligram in direct lung, so I don't get a throat hit there. Nic Salts don't give me a throat hit, but using this, I do get a throat hit. I also use that juice to fill in pods to test. You know, refillable pods, and I don't get a throat hit because in the pods it's just not strong enough usually. But in here, where you can control your wattage and you can vape it the way you want, I do get the throat hit, and it's good. Everything about this has been really excellent. It's like I said, it's smooth, it's nice, no leaks, no problems. No problems whatsoever. I haven't had that plug come out every time I've re-wicked it. I've tried to see how it was, and same thing, a little bit wiggly, but it's been in there and it hasn't moved and it hasn't come out. So I haven't dropped my mod, so I don't know if that would dislodge it and make it come out. But that, I have a concern about that. I wish they did that a little bit differently to avoid a problem. I see it as a possible potential, could be, what if kind of a problem, but I haven't had it. Really nice, smooth, flavorful vape. And while I don't normally use mouth-to-lung tanks like this, I've been really enjoying this one. So overall, I think it's nice. I just, that one little possible problem, but other than that, it's been working great, vaping great, tasting great, everything about it's been nice, and I just really do. I don't usually care about the looks, but I just really like the way it fits on this device and the way it looks on this device. And 8 watts with a 21700, like I said, you're gonna get, forever. I mean, I good days before I got to refill this thing. And I'm not vaping it constantly. I'm vaping it for 5-10 minutes, putting it down, going to something else, coming back and doing it. And I take it with me in the car because you're not blowing clouds out the window, and I still get a nice Nic hit. And overall, I've been very happy with it. So that's the Merlin Nano from Augvape. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.